Good evening and welcome to Jackal Garage. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is Jeff. What's happening, buddy?
Not much, but what's up with you?
Oh, just chipping away at the world, making a difference in everybody's life, and being the role model my mom always wanted me to be.
Wow, I there's a lot to unpack there. Yeah.
There's some things to unpack there. So hey, Darren's with us. Hey, Darren, how you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
Aaron. Hey, buddy.
So doing just making life happen, man. I'm
Sweet.
excited to get to
Adam
work.
join us.
Good evening,
Jonathan.
Jonathan is here. So sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, got some cars I want to talk about, some different product lines, but today I want to work on the SWAT vehicle that I started,
Right.
and maybe start getting some of the work done on the Big Air, Bel Air, and then we'll kind of just take things from there. But I did finish up that Erikenstein from last week. Darren's working the closing shift at the store, so
No. Yeah. Okay.
I, and we. You're the owner. Why should you have any idea what you're doing?
Because he hasn't done it in so long. So,
That's funny. That is funny.
well,
Darren, we will if you just we'll walk you through it. We'll be here for you while you go through the closing shift.
I'm
These
not even sure.
things.
I have no. It's been so long since I've closed the store. I couldn't do it.
I was I think a completely different system when I worked there
I
and
know.
closed the
I know
store.
how to. I know how to physically lock the door. Uh,
I know how to set the alarm off because
I don't think we've inspired Dare with confidence in our assistant. Well, I'm going to show everybody what's become of the what I'm calling the dynamic dually.
the dynamic. Well, why don't we show Darren since we haven't? It's cold
Yeah,
here.
since we got Darren on shop,
So
I don't have a lot of picks.
that's okay. Why don't we go
Oh
ahead and
man,
show him?
there are wolves there. I want to go there.
No, you don't.
Yeah, there are wolves there. All right.
Why don't we share some pictures? Darren, since Darren's with us, we can show him what his Erikenstein turned out to be,
There it
and
is.
there it is. So that is the first in a series of cars that I will be working on for Darren at the shop, and they're all going to be painted basically with his store colors. So they're going to be a lot of red, black, and gray colors. I'm happy with it. Oh, Darren's afraid. Is he afraid of the car or the wolves?
I don't know.
So,
Well, the
so
cars look great. The car looks fantastic.
well, thank you. I'm very
I'm
happy
loving
with
it.
how it turned out. So woo woo.
I'm
I
loving it. It
I
looks
got
great.
the woot woot. So I think we're
The
good.
only thing, the only thing I would change is I would put the engine in the back.
Not all cars have to have the engine in the rear.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But
Well,
I
thank.
like the work. That actually looks really, 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 really good.
And Darren is scared of the wolves. Yeah, so that's the first one, and I kept the hood or the engine intake, the scoop.
Yeah,
I kept it glossy red,
right.
and then I dull coated the car body itself. So I wanted it to pop a little bit when you looked at it from the front.
Well, those
So
decals. See if I can actually get one up here. I haven't figured out. Oh wait, there's a way to move this around a bit here. Hang on a second while I figure it out.
there you
I
go.
love the way the decals came out. I love that it turned
Yeah,
out with decal there.
for homemade decals, I think they turned out fantastic.
Yeah, no, and
Um,
I have to give me some of the gunners that you got. The guys with the legs.
yeah, the implements of carnage. I know a
Yeah,
guy.
I have to grab some of those because
If
I'm actually out of bodies for drivers and gunners. I have to get more.
if he doesn't get eaten by wolves today, he might be able to order some of those for you.
Well,
So,
I like it. I like that. I like
well,
that a lot.
thank you, sir. Yes, they're lovely. So, Anyway,
And
so
then,
that's all. That's all I got done. But and then today we're gonna start working on the SWAT wagon.
well,
So what'd
well,
you get done?
well, first thing I got done was I went out and did this.
Looks like you bought a Hot Wheel.
No, not I bought two of that Hot Wheel,
Just two.
and
You
I
know, there's
can't buy
like,
the 99-cent one. I had to buy the $3 one.
and there's like 5 cars in that series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the initial build for the dually because you made the dually suggestion, which I really
Right.
liked, and I did that on the show, I think, or at least got
Yeah.
started working on it.
Yeah.
But the wheels were too small, so I had to go shopping to find a set with wheels like that.
So you went wheel shopping. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be out at a Walmart in the Hot Wheel section, not looking at the Hot Wheel, but the wheels on the Hot Wheel.
I love it. Yes.
So that was so I found this one, and they had two of them on the shelf, so I bought them both. And that gave me the ability to build what I'm about to show you, which I call the dynamic dually.
The dynamic. Oh, look at that.
So there's the original dualies I had on it, which work perfectly on the front.
So those are the wheels from Implements of Carnage.
Yes.
Okay.
And then these are all four wheels off the truck I bought. And then I filled in the top because that's all open on this car. So I put a piece of plastic there, and now I filled it with Squadron Green stuff.
Yep.
Which is actually the one that works best with metal. So I filled that in, so I got to sand that down, and then I added the either smoke launchers, grenade launcher, mortar, whatever the hell it is back there.
Yeah.
So I cut that. There's a fuel tank in there normally, so I cut that out, put Plastruct in there to fill that up, and then mounted that to it. So and then there's machine guns. If you look really closely, there's machine guns in the
eyes.
The skull of the coming out the eyes of the skull on the front.
Oh, dude, great conversion for that vehicle.
Yeah,
I love it.
The part for me that's important is I need to get this. I want this to look invisible. I don't want it. I don't want to seam. I want to. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that smooth enough that I can actually, when you paint it, you don't notice anything.
I'm sure you can. I did it. That's how the Erikenstein hood came out with that plastic card I put in it.
Right. Okay.
So,
all right, there you go. That's perfect.
Cecil has joined us. He said the Barracuda in that series is awesome. I'm not going to repeat what he said because this is a family-friendly show.
Yeah, but I have an interesting paint scheme I want to try with it. Well, I won't talk about yet until I actually can pull it off. But that's my I'll be working on that today.
Awesome. Well, before we get started into our builds, I wanted to take a moment to talk about Matchbox cars. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about Matchbox cars is because the car I'm actually building right now is a Matchbox car. And I don't feel I give them enough love when it comes to talking about them and promoting them as vehicles to use in Gaslands. Matchbox cars are kind of plain and ordinary. They don't have a lot of crazy engines sticking out and stuff like that. They build very pedestrian type vehicles. But
I had that same thought when I was standing in the Hot Wheels section, and the Matchbox is right there. Those are boring. I went back to the Hot Wheels.
Right. But they do have a new series. They got their new cars coming out.
Ooh, okay.
And I just found some very unique cars that I can use for parts. And I thought I would show those to everybody. So if you're out looking for Matchbox cars or cars in general, take a quick look at the Matchbox section. You might find some things of interest. So let me switch cameras. And then I'm going to take full screen. All right, I'm going to start with this emergency response vehicle. So this is it's a Ford 350. But it's an emergency response vehicle. But I really like that front grille. See that?
Nice. Yeah.
Now, again, there's a 99 cents. So I got all this tubing and stuff, and I don't necessarily want an emergency response vehicle as something to build. But if you
Right.
are into that, this would be a good one to get because you got all this tubing going around it.
Right.
But I really just got it because I like that front grill. I'm just thinking about cutting that off and just putting it on another car
Right.
because it just looks really cool. So this is just one of those things that you see, and when you're looking at cars, I don't kind of look at the whole car. I just look at parts and pieces of the car and go, I can use that for something.
Pieces, parts.
Pieces and parts. And then they had this boat.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, you remember how you were just recently struggling with that Camaro?
Right.
And is it Matchbox or Hot Wheels that most folks use for these? Most people use Hot Wheels, but Matchbox is acceptable. They work just as fine there. But remember how you had that Camaro?
Yep.
This would have been a great replacement for that convertible Camaro. Oh my, oh,
Oh
I don't
my
know
God.
all that. Yeah. Anyways, this is a excellent. This would have been an excellent way for you to do the convertible Camaro,
Right.
and you could have just popped that in, and you would have been done with it. So
Yeah. That comment threw you off.
yeah, done.
Yeah.
Sorry, it threw me off.
Yeah. You're gonna have to show me how to actually do that.
There's three little buttons that pop up when you hover over a comment, and you just
Okay.
delete it. Anyways, so you could have done this for your Camaro, and that would have been awesome.
The roll cage you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for your Camaro. Now
Yeah. Yeah.
here's something. Here's something that's really cool. So I bought this just for the dumpsters.
It's a dumpster truck.
It's a dumpster truck, but talk about terrain.
Yeah.
I just need a little. I just want little scattered terrain pieces. It's just a dumpster. So I'll always use the truck for maybe something else, but I'll have that cool dumpster.
See, I went completely different with that.
What's that?
I'd actually put guys back there with machine guns.
And you could do that as well. So yes, this is something that you could put dudes back here and just have a good time, or you could be like me and go, I just need pieces of terrain, and boom, there you go. You got pieces of terrain. The other thing I found was a trailer with a motorcycle.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So one of the sponsors for Gaslands is the Bootleggers,
Right.
and they have special rules for everyone having trailers, and it's
Right.
hard to find good trailers either in Hot Wheels or Matchbox. They just don't make a lot of good trailers, and these were excellent trailers.
Oh yeah.
And then you had a motorcycle on top of that. So remember how you were talking a while back about could I use a trailer to transport something around and then the vehicles could get off? Well, now you got something already set up with a motorcycle on it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
So the only downside to the motorcycle itself is the wheels are molded pretty deep into the plastic.
Right.
So if you were to put it on a base, you'd have to put something around the wheels so they don't it's not
Well,
obvious that they're
the thing about it is though the sprue has two motorcycles it comes with, so
right.
I can literally cut that motorcycle off and just mount the other two on there.
Sure. And then
Yeah,
you could have
something like
both
that.
motorcycles on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a nice trailer
Yeah.
for match, and it's just hard to find good trailers in the scale for what we're doing.
Yeah.
So this was just a good option. Then the piece that I was most excited about was this. I found this. I went to 3 other Walmarts looking for more.
I want the
because
track. I want the track.
That's the first thing I said is those tracks are amazing. Look at those big beefy tracks. But look at the crane arm. This could be used for any of those cool throwing weapons or catapult type weapons that are in the game.
Yeah.
This is just, and it's movable. It actually works, which is a plus. You could actually move it around. It's got great detail to it. So you've got all bolts and nuts and rivets and everything, and it's just an amazing piece. And then on top of that, when you're all done stripping the parts off of this bad boy, and you're ready to, and you use them for other cars, you still got this great body that you could do all kinds of cool stuff with. And it's got an
Yeah.
awesome engine in it. I don't. It's let me zoom in on that engine. Look at that engine. You
Oh
know,
man, yeah.
it's pretty. You know, but it's got an exhaust on it. But this is just a nice car. Now this is not 99 cents. This was three
I bet
dollars.
not.
This was $3.97. But you're not going to find parts like this anyplace else. So this is just a good piece, and that's why looking at Matchbox, it's something I don't talk a lot about. Even though today, you know, we're going to be working on this SWAT vehicle.
Right.
This is a Matchbox car. Um, but yes, start looking at Matchbox, and I think you'll be surprised at some of the things you can find.
Yeah. See,
So let me take me off full screen. What do you got?
there's a reason I want those tracks or some kind of tracks.
Okay.
I want to make this a tracked vehicle.
uh, I got you on full screen, buddy, because everybody needs to love the little bug.
I
That thing
I
is just awesome.
I want to put tracks on this, like a little tank.
Yes. Well, I got tracks. I got plenty of tracks. So let me, if I find some extra, if I find a couple extra ones, buddy, I'll send you one.
Anyway,
Right now, I've only got one. So Jonathan's saying, "Look, we made it. We got ghost spammed."
well, that's actually, well, you remember we had the sad face emoji pop up during
Yeah.
the last show, and we did some research and found out that was just some random guy. So
Yeah, it happens. It's all part of social media, and you just have to love it.
you gotta love it. Yeah, no,
So, anywho, well, Matchbox, take a look at them, guys. You're going to find some cool stuff out there. And
I am. I have to tell you now because you
uh-oh.
remember the text I sent you when I bought those two $3 Hot Wheels, right?
All it was a bunch of inappropriate words.
No,
And...
there was a sentence at the very end of it.
Oh, was there? I couldn't get past
Yeah,
the first.
it was 3 words.
Yes, 3 words I cannot repeat on this show.
No, it said I hate you.
There was a lot of other words in between all that.
Not the last 3 words. I hate you. Now, do you remember in Tombstone when Doc Holliday finds out that Johnny Ringo's an educated man?
Yes.
What does he say?
I forget.
Now I really hate him. So
So what do you got?
You show me these Matchbox cars. Now I really hate it.
Well, I will buy you some and send them your way.
No, that's not necessary. Luckily, I live in a very rural area, not like where before. If you couldn't find it here, you just drive to somewhere else in the valley and you locate it.
Yeah.
For me to do that, it's almost it's a 45-minute drive to the next location, and it just doesn't lend itself to that kind of shopping.
For me, hitting Walmarts, there's 3 of them just in my city, and my city's not that big.
Yeah.
So we've got them all over the place. So, and I will probably be going out on Friday hunting down some more cars because, believe it or not, these were just cool cars that I found. They actually had a Volkswagen Thing, which I don't know if you're familiar with the Volkswagen series, but the Thing is the very. Actually, they were in World War II. They were very popular in World War II.
Yep. I remember when that was released in the U.S. as an actual vehicle you could buy.
Yes. So they had a couple of those, and they just had a couple other just really odd kind of cars that you wouldn't necessarily see. And I'm like, these will probably fit Darren nicely because they're odd, just like Darren.
I have thought of a couple cars I would like to get a hold of. One of them being a Pacer. You remember the Pacer?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. That's probably going to be a Johnny Lightning.
Yeah, and then I want to get a Vega.
Oh, I got Vegas.
Yeah. Well, you
You
remember the
got a
whole thing.
particular
You remember the whole thing about Vegas, right? They were the reason they stopped making the Vega.
why?
If you rear-ended them really hard, they exploded.
Oh yeah. Well, what other cars? The Crown Vic did that.
Yeah.
Fiero's just burnt up in the
Yeah,
engine.
but the Vega was the big one. It was this big huge. I remember this big huge ordeal about it. So I want to make a Vega that's like a mobile bomb.
Just put an exploding. Just make the buy upgrade to the. I resemble that remark. Upgrade the rear with a ram and make it an exploding ram.
No, no, I actually want to make the Hot Wheel. So if anyone gets on my nerves, I can blow it up on the table.
Tim chimed in. He said Pintos, and
Pinto.
yes,
Actually, I'm wrong. It's not a Vega. It was the Pinto. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
if you want, I have a Johnny Lightning Pinto. Or no, yeah, I do have one. I actually have a Pinto.
Yeah, it was the Pinto. They are correct. The
Okay,
Vega was the one a buddy of mine put in a 350 engine in it. He gutted it and then dropped a big block or a small block 350 in it with a dually, not a dually, but a positive traction rear end in it. The thing was insane. So
Adam's comment. I want a 1979 Chevette. No one said no one ever.
oh, actually, Darren, if Darren is still watching. I actually there is a in the Stevens order that just shipped to Darren. I added a thing for you in that you'll see it. You will not. There is no way you will not notice that I ordered that car specifically for you. There's a model car kit coming for you, Darren, in the Stevens order. That is specifically for you. And once you see what kind of kit it is, you will completely get it.
Now I want to know.
Anyways,
Anyways,
when we are done broadcasting, I will tell you.
well, okay. But yes, I do have I picked up a Pinto, and it is really, but it's a true 164 scale. So maybe next week I'll pull that out and talk about that and share with you guys
That'd be
a
awesome.
little bit about true scale versus what we see in Hot Wheels and Matchbox. Maybe that'll be a good subject for next week. But
Ooh.
right now, I'm going to switch cameras and kind of bring you guys up to speed on where I'm at with the current build. So let me hog up the camera, get some lights going.
I'm just
So
gonna work
this,
on stuff.
okay. Well, I'll be back. So this is the SWAT vehicle we started. I went ahead and got it primed gray. I got the Imperial Outpost logo. And if you guys don't have third arms, you should probably go out and pick some of these up. These are actually really good for Hot Wheels, especially, or just doing these conversions, but they're just great modeling tools in
They're
general.
also called extra hands.
Extra hands. I call them third arms.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
well,
Does you guys carry? Do we carry these at the shop?
we did initially, but we had one in there for almost 18 months and never went anywhere. So when it finally sold, I never restocked it.
Okay. They are fantastic. So maybe ask, if you're really interested, you may want to talk to Darren, see if he can bring you in some. Jonathan wants a 68 Charger and a 70 Chevelle.
Right.
I got both of those. Make it harder, buddy. Just make it a little bit harder. Now, Adam gave me a request. I don't think I have a 79 Chevelle.
Okay. First of all, Mike, this
What?
is unfair. Do not criticize someone or say, "Oh, I already got that." But here's the thing. All right. You own all the Hot Wheels. As a matter of fact, I asked at the Walmart here in Maryland, I said, why is your selection of Hot Wheels so thin? And he says, some guy in Arizona is buying them all up. So,
Yes, I am. So, anyways, getting back to this. Got the decal on it for you. Here, this is again the custom made decals, and I did have to go down the ridges. You guys, I was using water. That's what I used on the Erikenstein. I had to use a little bit of the microsol to get it to conform better. The water obviously wasn't working. It wasn't doing anything to melt the decals, so I had to put a little bit on. I was just very sparing with it and actually just put it on a Q-tip and rubbed it on. It didn't really distort the decal too much. And once I put a gloss coat over this, it won't be seen at all. Adam says Helping Hands usually uses them for soldering. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Exacto actually markets them as extra hands. So if you're looking for it, just walk into a hobby shop and ask for extra hands. And I if we can probably bring them back in the shop as well. But that's how they're actually labeled as extra hands.
I call it extra finger because I don't have one. Uh, then I just went ahead and I just pulled out some of the detail on this. So this is kind of where this is at. It's looking good. I'm happy with it. Did the painting on the windows. I'm probably going to get some black wash to make these doors pop out a little bit better, but I'm happy with that. This is the interior part. There's really not a whole lot here, but I did get the gas cans painted up, and I'm leaving them kind of bright. And I don't want to dull these down. I want them to be left bright because they're going to pop up in the back here. And if I dull them down, they probably won't be seen. So I want to keep them bright so people see them. That's why they're also red. I also got the Molotov cocktails painted up. So let me zoom in on these because they're kind of tiny. So what I did with these is they're already in kind of a crate of sorts. And I just painted the bottles white, and I just hit over the bottles with some of the, what is it, the Wraith, whatever green, the Hex Wraith Flame. So I just did a real thin of the coat. I was trying to go for the Coke bottle look. That's what I'm trying to go for here. And again, I wanted it to be bright so that when it's in the back of the truck, it really stands out and people see it. Because that's what you want to do with some of these details. And then I've got the harpoon painted up. And what we're really going to do tonight is I'm going to pin this into here. So I want to pin that on. So we're going to do a little bit of pin work as soon as my camera gets straight. So I want to get that pinned in. And then after we get done with that, we're going to dig into the Big Air Bel Air. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. One of the things I do is, if you guys haven't noticed yet, I use a lot of micro brushes for a lot of different applications, from gluing to cleaning up messes. But once they're done, I cut the tips off and I just save them for glue tips for just holding stuff. So, hobby tip, save stuff.
They're also really good for cleaning out your airbrush needles
and your earbuds.
Yep.
If you get any kind of wax buildup. I know it sounds gross to talk about, but it happens.
Yeah, it is kind of gross.
But it happens.
But it's gross.
But it happens.
But, okay, we can do this forever.
But it happens.
But it's gross.
But it happens.
Sometimes we entertain ourselves just a little too much.
I know.
I'm just painting the accessories that I'm mounting on to my Erikenstein.
Oh yeah, you haven't.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting a spare tire Rottweiler. And there it is.
Who's on first? I don't know.
Third base. Best skit ever. And then I've got two lovely little bed rolls that I'll be mounting on this as well. I just got to think of a color. Oh, let's see what I got here. What do I got here?
All right, so that's done. Now what I'm going to do is just drill a little hole in here. Now, I don't know about you guys. I just use paper clips for my pins. They're cheap. I have hundreds of them for some reason. I don't know why. So that's what I use.
It's perfectly fine. I just happen to have a ton of the old GF9 rod that I just have.
I do have brass rod. I don't have a ton of it. I do have some, and I'll save that for like really special miniatures. But for stuff like this, I'll just use a paper clip.
Have you not seen my Wrigley Spearmint chewing gum box?
That's a beautiful box.
Are you ready?
What's up?
That's my brass rod.
Look at you. You got tons.
It's almost like I used to work for Gale Force 9.
Like you might know them.
When Battlefront acquired them, they popped up in my
You
warehouse.
you got excited when Battlefront acquired them. You're like, "Hoo-hoo, I can get all kinds of cool stuff." I think is this still the Gale Force 9 drill? Was this Gale
Uh,
Force 9?
their entire tool line has been. I don't think it's available anymore at all, and that's a
No,
very
but
sad.
I just
That is
don't
the
remember if this.
that is their pin device. Yes,
Okay,
that's
I
the
didn't know
model
if it
case.
was Gale Force 9 or a GW.
No, it is Gale Force. That they well, I don't know what particular. There are several companies that make that one, but GF9 released a pin device like that.
I've got two of them. I always have to fight my wife for the one though. She keeps taking it from me.
I have an entire drawer marked pin device, which is kind of sad.
Oh, I have. This is my little cubby drawer full of little drill bits and tips and stuff.
All right. I won't do the one-upman thing by pulling out my pin device for her.
Oh, that scares me.
All right, now you're making me do it. I don't like changing bits.
Oh my! Oh, those are the ones from the shop, right?
Yeah.
Oh my!
I have all my bits I use with any regularity are already mounted. I just grab the right pin device. Because I pin quite a bit.
Yeah, you do. Well, you do a lot of the pinning for Darren's Infinity. Which, speaking of Infinity, I guess they got a new set of rules out,
I saw the
and
book.
I guess they cleaned some things up, so it might be challenging to do it. If it was a GW, it would have had a name. That's true. If that was a GW, yeah. So this probably has to be Gale Force 9. I love it. I love the big ball piece. I don't understand why.
This is GW's, but it has Citadel on the side. Ta-da!
Yeah, this has nothing on it.
It's branding, branding, branding.
Tim is envious of your pin vice collection.
I just don't like changing pin vice blades, so I have pin vices.
Look
That
what I got,
started
buddy.
with, huh?
Look what I got.
Oh yeah, I saw those when you showed when you actually bought them and you went and actually got them. I got to get those photo etch scissors out to you.
And that was beautiful. It didn't even mar the end really.
Yeah, no, it'll cut through some stuff, man.
Those are awesome. Highly recommend these if you guys are going to be doing Hot Wheels or Matchbox or anything. Yeah, all the new stuff is brown, Jonathan.
Yep.
But the old stuff,
It's like I still use this old Citadel. This is one of the first razor knives they did. I have two of these because I love this handle. It's just a better handle for me. For me.
I just got to mark it in the right spot. So yeah, today I want to try to get this car to the point where I'll have the body all built up, and it's just going to require some weathering, and it'll be done. I got to paint the wheels on the body on the chassis because I want the wheels to be silver. Ooh, should I make this rotating? Nah, turrets cost too much. And then I also got to put on I got to get a ram picked out for it.
Darren, if you're still watching, there's a text coming to your phone from me.
Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's probably busy working.
He is, or trying to figure out how to close.
All right, so got that all the way through. So let me take my chassis off the extra hands. See how that looks with the gas tank back there?
Ooh, nice.
It just shows up because they're pretty deep. They're down far, so I was afraid if I weathered them too much. Turrets are worth it, Mike. You know I love them on it. Yeah, I know turrets are worth it, but it's just expensive, and I don't want to have to deal with the rotation issue. All right, so that's in place. So that's what our basic body's going to look like. Let me get the wheels on.
Speaking of turrets,
Yes.
I'm trying to find a car for this turret.
So we good luck with that. So one of the things that happens, I'll see if the text came over the Mac. Left my phone at home. Okay.
Oh, way to go, dude. He always leaves his phone lying about.
So I want to share a little thing with everybody. I'm going to take the screen real fast.
Go right ahead, sir.
So when I glued these wheels in, I got kind of globs of super glue down there to keep the wheels in place.
Right.
Now this chassis won't fit properly because these are fitted the way everything goes together, and you can even see I'm pulling some of the glue off of one of them.
Right.
Is meant to fit perfectly. So you may, if you end up doing that, you may have to trim just a little bit off of these when you go to put your body together. So don't get frustrated if your body's not fitting. First thing to check if you glued your wheels is to make sure this is going down all the way, and you just have to trim off some of that plastic. It's a simple fix. But the first time I didn't realize it, I was getting a little frustrated because I didn't know what was going on. And all you gotta do is just cut off some of that plastic.
I did discover something interesting about those heavy duty cutters I have.
Yeah.
I had drilled out, well, I forget which car it was, but I had drilled it out, and there was a burr on it, on the metal pin in the body,
Yeah.
and those heavy duty snips just took it right off.
You're talking about these right here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So I just literally, I put the heavy duty snips on it, and it took it right off. And it did not mar the snips at all.
Sweet. So now that I cut that extra plastic off, everything fits perfectly. So, so it's just one of those things. When you start gluing wheels together, you may be making some changes to the car, and you may just have to make some other modifications. That's how everything looks. So, sweet.
Nice.
So what I'm going to do is I need to get the uh, bottles glued in back here on the little back platform. And then I'm going to paint up the wheels and then push this off to the side. I'll finish it up during the week while I'm at home. And I'm just looking for a paint. And then we'll get started on the next car.
I'm using I just got I ordered paints from the shop that Cody sent to me. They arrived today, so I'm using my brand new color I've never used before.
What's that?
Wraithbone.
Oh, Wraithbone's a great color.
Yeah.
Is this what you're painting the
These bedrolls.
stowage?
So,
yeah.
Yeah, the stowage stuff. That's my base. I'm gonna, of course, darken it up and.
But you give it a good wash, and that stuff is just awesome.
Yeah. So, I got a bunch of new paints in. Some old, like Rhinox hide, which is a color I can't live without.
As long as they don't change the name again.
They will. But that's what I love about my app. It'll keep track of it for me.
You'll know what name is being changed.
Yep.
Hey, on Wednesday, I watched a couple reviews on Codexes and Crusades.
Right.
The new book's coming out, so we may want to chat a little bit about that.
Yeah, we can also chat about the new Giant.
Oh yeah, I like Giants.
Yeah, did you see the confirmed price on it today?
No.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on a non-Hot Wheels show.
Tim's asking if you're painting those bedrolls on a 25 millimeter round.
No, they're on a 32 millimeter round. I just have them blue tacked down to it.
This way you don't mess up the paint job of your car.
Yeah, and then after they're painted, I'll mount them. I can't. I checked. I was gonna work on the body wherever it ran off to. I hate it when I put something down and then can't find out where. I can't remember where the hell I put it.
Yeah.
Excuse my French. Here it is. The green stuff, the squadron putty, isn't quite dry yet, so I'm going to have to wait and sand that tomorrow probably. I don't want to start sanding it too soon. So
He says that's a neat idea for painting them.
well, just sticky tie them to a base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lets me use my handle, and I don't have to worry about trying to. If I used to be able to like hold stuff like this while I painted it, but my hands just cramp up so badly anymore.
Well, and you're using that handle wrong.
No, I'm using it correctly.
Well, using it wrong. Sorry.
I was just going into a Zen pose.
As for the Giants, how many Hot Wheels will it take to buy one?
I don't want to talk about it.
A lot.
A ton. I'll put it to you this way: probably the only one watching the show or participating in this live stream right now that could actually afford, if they took direct trade on Hot Wheels for the Giant, Mike's the only one that probably has enough Hot Wheels to cover it.
Well, they got to be. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. I'm excited.
I just try to keep this show separated from.
Yeah.
Because right now there's a certain mammal that I'm working on sitting here right next to me that's staring at me, and I'm going, I really would rather be painting that.
The mammal.
The mammal.
Yeah, you can wait a day.
I can.
One night of Hot Wheel love. You can even see that even on the screen. You can see the 6-pack of Molotov cocktails. So
I can barely see him on that skull.
right, but you can see them.
That's cool. Now I see what you're trying to say. That's how. Okay, got it. Got it.
Sorry, I had to jump up and get my tweezers again.
Tweezers.
Because Oktoberfest is a greenskins thing, and we're at Jackal Garage, Tim. So we're not doing an October thing here.
I mean, if anyone wants to do an art themed car, they're more than welcome to.
I wouldn't hold it against anybody.
Yeah. You kind of did. You have that red one. It must go really fast.
It does go really fast. Well, I don't know. The engine's not in the back.
Well, that right there is a major mistake.
Yeah, it's ruined it.
Yeah.
All right. Slime talk. You could do a slime team, Tim. I think slime would work. Okay, so this was pretty quick and simple. There wasn't a whole lot to do, but I'll be able to show you guys kind of the baseline of where this car is going to end up. I just haven't picked out the Ram yet. So this is what we're looking at. So that's your side view. I just kind of painted the rims real fast. I don't get too carried away. I do them kind of down and dirty, keeping a lot of the black in place. So it kind of creates a natural effect, a natural shadow effect. And then you can see inside the engine or the back of the vehicle, you can really see the gas cans and the Molotov cocktails. So I'm excited about that. And now the Harpoon's going to need a little bit more detail painting. I'm going to do something different with the cable and some of the things. But I'll pull out some of those colors. But it's just got a quick dry brush of silver on it. Just so that I could show it off. And then there's a decal on the front showcasing Imperial Outpost Gaming.
Nice.
So this is going to be just another one of the cars, keeping with the gray theme, because the logo for the store, it's basically black, gray, and red. So this kind of has the black, gray, and red all inside of it. So I actually got all three of the colors here
Look at you.
in this car build. So I'll continue. I'll get it painted up during the week, and then I'll have final show or final photos next week on the show. But that's what we're looking at. So, and this wasn't a hard car to make. Just a little bit of conversion work, chopping some pieces off other cars. I still need to put a ram on, but this has got a pretty heavy duty bumper. So let's pick a ram out for it. Let's figure out which one we want to use.
We have to now start coming up with segments. Like we should have a let's pick a ram for it segment where little music starts playing, in the background while you look for a ram.
Tim, this is a Matchbox, buddy.
That's it. There you go. That is the music. That is the music for the let's look for a ram.
Well, we got two. So we got this one and we got this one. So do we want the...
Oh, the choices.
Go with the Dingo Bar one. Dingo Bar one. Is that this one, Tim? I don't think that would work on this.
Oh my gosh.
What?
We started talking. I don't know if you guys remember, you could sell these battering ram heads. GW did in bits. They were, one was a big dwarf head, the other was a big gauntleted fist.
Yeah.
I have about 100 of each of them.
Sweet.
The fist would be that end loader of yours with one of those on the end, or that is basically a backhoe.
So I could just take the backhoe piece off and replace it with a fist.
I would just take the bucket off the backhoe and put a fist there, like you could punch stuff. I will dig those out and have them ready for next week.
There we go.
Now I gotta go buy one.
I know you hate me more. So I think we'll go with this ram because I kind of like that.
That's awesome. That is just an awesome front end.
Yeah, and I just got to make some slight modifications to the car. Just trim down some of these pieces.
Okay.
So that was quick and easy. Yeah, so we'll just glue that bad boy right there. Because the whole idea with this car is the harpoon shoots them, drags them closer to the car, and then I hit them with the ram. Ooh, can we put it upside down?
That's what I did on my Camaro.
Ah, that looks awesome.
Yeah. That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. With both of them, they're actually both inverted.
That is so much better inverted.
When we're done, I wanted to show everybody a trick I used on the dynamic dually.
Okay.
So when you're finished up, I want to show everybody what I did.
Let me just get some poster tack and tack this on real fast so we can all see kind of how it looks.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's what I'm looking at.
That's sexy.
It's upside down, which is perfect. But I think it's more menacing looking from the top because most people are going to see it from the top down.
Right.
So it looks just a little bit more menacing with that V being so prominent.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, so that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. We'll have this ram on there. And then we'll just take it from there.
Look at that. Mounted up that tire.
I'm excited. So let's what did you want to talk about?
Well, I mentioned earlier I get really bad hand cramps.
Right.
When I work with really fine detailed stuff. So when I was trying to get this plastruct in here to fill this large hole, I was having trouble getting it lined up properly. So I did something. I don't. I may be behind the times. I may be talking about stuff people already know, but I thought I'd show everybody how I did it to actually mount it. So I didn't have to try to hold it in place. Like here's that the other body.
The other car
Okay.
you bought?
So I had to find a way to get that in there so it actually would be semi flush in there, and and not I can't hold it because my hands cramp up.
Right.
What's he asking to point at the camera?
He's
Tim?
asking me to point that at the camera.
So I was trying to figure out what I could do to get that to work, and I took this and I inserted that into the body of the car like this,
Uh-huh.
and I just kept smashing it up against and then pushing it back down until I literally filled the entire area where it was going to go,
Yeah.
like that, and then made sure that it was actually touching the table like that. And I had already cut the piece to fit. So with that sticky tack there, okay, I
Oh.
I pushed the plastic down inside of it so that it. Let me find the tool that I used. I took this sculpting tool and just made sure that the blue tack was down below the lip, so I would have something to glue the thing to. And I'm kind of moving kind of fast. It took a little longer before, and then I just pressed the plaster down into the hole,
Yeah.
and then took basically a toothpick and some CA glue and just ran it like that. But I just basically put CA glue between the metal and the plastic. I let it dry, and then I literally just pulled this stuff out. The plastic stayed in there, and then I just ran a glue bead on the inside just to reinforce it.
Oh, that is perfect.
But it worked out really, really well, and it allowed me to line it up. I mean, it lines up
That's
pretty
actually
easily.
it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be hand cramping. It's just a good idea because if you got enough of it, the body will stay on your work surface.
Yep. It doesn't
Push
move.
push your stuff down, then you just cut your size, you get it in there, it doesn't move around, then you glue it, let
Yeah.
it dry, pull stuff.
Well,
Sweet.
cutting the size was easy because I just basically took the plastic and laid the body down, and I just basically drew it out like this,
Right.
and then I cut it, remembering to cut on the outside of the pencil line, and then I just sanded a little bit to make sure it would fit properly, and then I just stuck the sticky tack in there, and then that way I didn't have to worry about trying to hold it in place and do all that other fiddly bit with it.
Right. That's
It worked.
awesome.
It worked. I was real excited about it. Was what to talk about, but I had forgotten until I saw you doing what you were doing there. So
Perfect.
my little contribution to Jackal Garage.
I love it. Thank you for
Spare
contributing.
tire. Look at that.
I love it. I just love it. Yes. Tim was adding steel plating to his, and now he knows how to do it. So last week we removed all the decals from the Big Air Bel Air.
Yep, yep.
And as I told you, this was going to be a simple build. I don't want to get too carried away with this. I want to show everyone that it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to do a bunch of nutty stuff. And this car lends itself beautifully for Gaslands because it's kind of already got this gasser look going for it.
Right.
But you got the exhaust pipe sticking out the back. You got this gas tank sticking out here. You got shock coming through the hoods. So we can do some simple modifications to this and easily make this a quick conversion for Gaslands. So my vision for this is pretty simple. I want to chop down these shocks here, and I want to have two machine guns just coming out the engine compartment. I think that would be quick and easy. And I want to add some sort of a mortar sticking out the back. And that mortar can be anything. It could just be a simple tube sticking out the back. But it's just going to be my mortar. I'm going to look to see if I've got anything on the implements of Carnage that might look better for a mortar. And I might have to take one of the ones that Jeff's doing and just chop it up a little bit because it's got some texture to it. And that's about it. I don't want to do a whole lot to this car. I just want to paint it up, weather it up, and be done with it. So with the car, I've already glued the wheels. So the wheels are all glued together. So that's nice and easy. here, all we got to do is take the silver plastic, get an idea of about where they need to be cut. I don't want to. I don't want to cut them on the body because I don't want to mess up the body. So I'm just going to take a knife and just scar where the end of it is, so I know where to cut that. Now with that snipped off like that, it gives me a surface to glue the machine guns to. So we'll do that to the other side. Again, all I'm doing is just getting myself a little mark. So I can come in here, chop that off. The gas can's going to be a lot easier because it's just a flat surface. Right here, all I got to do is just chop this right. You know what? I'm probably going to do my X-Acto blade thing on this because, I don't know, maybe I can save that gas can for something.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I just saw a nice thing that about these wheels that I hadn't noticed before.
what's that?
The big wheels that I bought and the little wheels that come in the accessory sprue set.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I wish I could have them look alike, but they actually match.
Really?
Look.
They do. That's awesome.
I was like, that's kind of cool.
Well, that's good to know because now I can mix and match those wheels for the Implements of Carnage with any of the Hot Wheels.
I haven't decided if I'm going to convert this guy up or just use this for other wheels because I like the wheels on this one.
You know, you can always buy more Hot Wheels.
I hate you.
Thank you, Tim. I'm for me looking out for me. So yeah, I was able to save that gas can from the back of the model. So that will just go in the bucket of stuff. All right. So we already have an idea of where we're going with this. So we go shopping for weapons.
Weapons.
So I don't want to do missiles. So we got these funny machine guns here. I'm still not super, like, I don't know make and model of those, but they do have that nice stick coming down. I'm assuming that's a magazine of some sort. Or that's the mounting post for them. So they can go side by side, but that would make it easy to glue those in there.
Tim is waiting for a blade to ship. What blade are you waiting on, Tim?
Oh, when I was cutting that piece off, he was waiting for the blade to slip.
You slip. I thought it would ship.
The other, I've got these boring regular 50 cals, but they're just not exciting. I could also just take these mounted twin 50 cals with the front piece that's a little bit nicer.
Right.
And just cut them off in the halfway point.
Right.
And then just pop them on sticking out like that. That way they're more towards the fender. And that's where the machine guns... Yes, I think that's what we're going to do.
I screwed up, so I had to wipe the paint off and start over.
Uh-oh. So just envision this. Let me zoom in a little bit on this because it might be hard to see. So basically, let me get these machine guns picked up. So basically, I'm going to separate these machine guns from being attached. So I'm just going to cut out that center piece.
Right.
And then what I'm going to do is mount them like that. Like just a one.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
So like the belt fed is coming through the bottom there, and it's just going to be mounted to the top like that.
There you go.
So that just makes it nice and simple.
That should work.
That's my vision. Otherwise, if I did it the other way, I think they would be too far in. That might work. Let's see. Oh, either way would work. That would work too. Nope, I think I'll go in. I think that's how I'm going to go.
Oh,
So,
I like
yeah.
that look.
Yeah, so I'll go in, and what I'll probably end up doing is, and then I can just glue it to the piece that's there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to work. All right, so those are going to get glued there. Let me snip that out the rest of the way.
Wow.
What's up?
I'm liking the color of these.
And that's the bone wraith,
That's the that's the wraith bone, the base of wraith bone white.
right? And then what are you washing it with?
I this is my for the first time ever. I'm using contrast paints.
Oh, is that the
Cygor brown.
Sideboard? Okay, good color.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever used it, so I'm playing around thinning it and kind of darkening it up here and there, and so
What are you thinning it with?
just water right now. Making it more of a glaze or a wash.
Yeah, contrast does some cool stuff, man.
Yeah, I've never used it before. It's first my I've never used I've done contrast painting before, but I've never actually used Games Workshop's actual contrast paints.
Yeah, but it's nice that it's all just in the bottle for you.
That's yeah, absolutely very handy.
Jonathan's talking about the contrast medium, which helps out. And
Well,
I would have to.
now that I know it exists, I'll try to get somebody.
I use it, and I actually use that medium for other paints too. I don't just use it for contrast. It's just a medium, so.
I've got to get some Lamia medium because I'm out of that.
Uh oh. Yeah, I think these are gonna look perfect right there. I might even extend the magazine belt a little bit. Perfect. All right, so those will need to get painted up. Now we got to work on this mortar in the back. And so those are the drop weapons. So that's the mortar that you used, isn't it?
Where? Yeah, on the back of the.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it. I like it a lot. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. But I don't want to add. I don't want to have them all sticking out of there. I wonder if I should just cut one of the tubes off.
It wouldn't be that hard to do.
No, I'm just saying if I'm going to lose a lot of the detail. Otherwise, my other option would just be to have a tube sticking out.
Right.
And just saying it's a mortar, which sounds kind of boring. Let's try it. Careful, kids. Don't try this at home. Look at that. It was flawless. So my cut side was there.
Right.
So if I put, oops, it's a little piece now. It's an itty bitty piece.
righty.
I like the look of that.
The what?
It's just a tube. Yeah, this is perfect. So let me do some more trimming. Hold on. Let me trim it up.
Look at that.
Oh, you're going green.
Well, on one of them, there they are.
Look at that. Digging the contrast, huh?
Well, like I said, I was getting ready to pull out some inks and start doing some washing and glazing, and I thought, I got these contrast paints I've been wanting to try. I just said, I'll just give it in. So I just started using it, and it works really well. I mean, not that I doubted that before. I've never just used doing that.
It's just nice. It's all in a bottle for you. There it is, buddy.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So I'm just thinking that one little tube just sticking out. I saved a little bit of the plastic just to make it look like a mounting bracket.
That's brilliant. I like the look of that.
So I'm just keeping the cut side, the part that got cut, I'll just keep that down.
Now you do know what'll happen now, right?
What?
I'm going to steal that idea.
Oh yeah, I know. Didn't even cross. As I was cutting the piece of plastic off, I'm like, this is probably gonna work. Jeff's gonna like it, and then he's just gonna steal the idea.
I'm just going to steal it. That's what I do.
So.
No, I do like that, but that's actually really, really sharp.
Well, it's simple, it's easy, and it's just a single mortar. And my vision is there, the guy just crawls out the back window, shoves it around in it, and then goes back in and pulls the lever.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
And then I still have this, which will just be a 3 mortar. So this piece is not lost. It's still a valid piece. So I'll just for right now put it in the bits box of doom. So that will be that, and then obviously I'm gonna have to drill it out because, well, that's what we do.
Oh.
Thanks, Jonathan. So one of the things with doing certain drill outs is you don't have to get too carried away.
You need to get under the camera, dude.
Oh, hey, let me zoom out a little bit. Jeez.
We get to look at your knuckles there. It was awesome.
That's why we're here for each other, buddy.
You know it, man. Heck, you do it to me on Wolf's Den like 3 or 4 times a night.
So the thing with drilling these out is all you got to do is kind of start waddling, kind of going in a circle wider, and just kind of flare out your hole. It doesn't have to go way far, and you can also just use an X-Acto blade. Just to flare out that hole, just to make it look bright. And then if you're a little off center, just kind of clean to the one side that's your off center fry. And voila, it's all drilled out. All right, so I got those 3 parts ready to go. As far as the interior goes, I like the interior. It's just going to get primed and painted up, and that's about it. Show off some of that detail. So that car will get some work. I'll get it all painted up during the week. I'm running out of cars to work on, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I was being sarcastic.
I know you were, buddy.
And the next car we're going to work on is this one. So one of the teams for one of the sponsors in Gaslands of Michigan get access to all the wicked weapons, like the sonic weapons and the magnetic pulses and stuff.
Right.
And one of the cars I found I had this part. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it.
Take full screen if you want, bud.
Oh, let me just do that. That'll be easier. So it had this cool weapon on it. And then I had this cool race car. I was like, well, this race car needed something cool, so I'm thinking, why not put the big weapon on the back of the race car? Because the chances are it's going to be in front of everybody, and then it'll just shoot to the rear, and it'll just be a cool little piece.
Yeah.
So what I need to do though is I got this tube sticking out, and they obviously this is just a big flat piece of metal. So what I want to do is I'll take my jeweler's saw and I'll cut this down, cut that off, so that way this tube is a little bit more free, and maybe I can bend it down so it kind of goes into the car. If not, I might just trim it off and put a piece of tubing on it. So, oh, I'm not on screen. There we go. So what I'll do is this is the tube. I'll cut this, cut that, clean it all up, and then try to bend that down or just add a piece of tubing to it to make it work.
I'm going to step away for a moment. I will be right back.
So this is this will be my next build. And this is a cool little car if you find it. Monoposto is the name of the car, but it's got a single driver inside of it, so it actually already has a model inside or a driver inside. So he's got a helmet on, so you can easily paint that up. And just a fun little car. And it just snaps in here. And nothing outside of that. There's no engine details, some exhaust details. But my vision was to have this sticking out the back. And this is going to be the Michigan team, and this is going to be a just like a sonic weapon. It'll be able to be used for a lot of different things, but just fitting for the rules because it's not specific enough for one thing. There's some casting marks right here that need to come off. But this all needs to be kind of modified a little bit. So that'll be cleaned up, and I got to get a different file out to do that. But I think what we'll start doing is getting the jeweler's saw out, and we'll start chopping this up. And we've kind of talked about jeweler's saws already, so you guys are familiar with them.
And since we have talked about those on the show quite a bit,
Yep.
I have added them back into the inventory selection at IOG.
Sweet.
I've ordered them.
I wonder if I need to get my block out. Again, with the jeweler's saw, you just go slow and careful. It's not a race. I might have to buy like 6 jeweler saws so I can put different teeth blades, different gauge teeth on each one.
Well, yeah, they're harder to change in pin bites.
Yes, they are. Now you guys might notice me. I got my thumb on the back of my jeweler saw. Mine, unfortunately, the insert here came loose, so I just gotta glue it back in place. So if it looks like I'm doing something weird with my thumb there, I'm just keeping pressure on the blade. but I just gotta get some JB Weld and glue that back in place. I got a little overzealous with tightening it one day. Which happens. Oh, I don't need to be on full screen. Why didn't you say something to me?
Because you were working on stuff. You're actually showing how to modify. I'm just painting.
Well, that's part of the hobby, dude.
Yeah.
Now I'm drinking water. I'm assuming everybody's just really quiet tonight.
Not a lot of. Hopefully, they're working on cool projects.
I hope they are.
Well, here are my two bedrolls.
Let me give you full screen. There you go. And that's contrast paint, correct?
Yep, that's just contrast paint. It is the
simple and easy.
I can't remember if I think I used. Let me find it here. This one is Sigor Brown, and the green one is Orc Flush. Hey, I did some Orky.
So we are doing Orc vehicles.
Yeah, right. Now on the Sigor Brown, I did have to thin it out a bit to get the kind of the effect that I wanted.
Sure, but it almost looks like a beat up leather.
Yeah, yeah. And then I figured the green just to contrast it because I wanted something that was going to really stand out on that great hood because they're actually going right along the top of this hood.
Right. They're going to look fantastic. I can't wait.
Well, they're dry. I'm getting ready to glue them on right now. Oh, sticky tack, sticky tack.
How we love our sticky tack.
It is in my opinion, the duct tape of the miniature world.
Or the scale model world. Or any hobby world.
Yeah. I can mask with it. I get the whole thing in place. I can throw it at my cat.
Oh, that's cruel. So I'm just kind of going nice and slow, making sure I'm following the line of the tube as best I can. I don't want to. I want to treat this kind of gingerly because I want it to pop off. Chances are it's going to pop off, but I want to be as safe as possible. And I don't want to saw my thumb or my finger.
That is always and you've only got 9 more of those mistakes to go.
I know. I gotta be careful. But it is going. I think I might need to. What do you got?
That's what they're gonna. When I actually get them in place, when I glue them down, that's what they're gonna be.
They look awesome.
Yeah.
Look awesome. I think I need to get a pair of pliers to hold that because I'm afraid I'm going to cut a finger. And we don't want to see blood on the show. Well, I don't want my blood on the show.
Blood on the highway. Oh, sorry.
Blood on that.
Oh,
Is that
throwing back to high school driver's ed.
oh, red asphalt?
Yeah.
It does make this a little bit harder to cut. And there goes the blade. I got a little too aggressive.
Yeah, a little too. If it's taking a long time, I gotta get through this.
I guess I was freaking Jonathan out.
Vroom vroom.
Oh, look at that.
So it's
That's
got
gorgeous.
the spare tire on the back. Bed rolls, doubling a little bit of cover for the driver, or for the gunner, I should say. Yeah, there we go.
The
Very
advantage
cool.
with the advantage with where I broke it, it was this the end that broke off. So
you can just slide it back a little bit and go to town.
yeah.
I had to I tried to do the dualies, so there was a gap between the tires like an actual dually would be.
Right.
So I had to build spacers, and this one wasn't lined up properly. It wasn't quite straight. So
Right.
I had to pop it apart. So now I've got to re-drill it because I filled my axle area with Ciegos. I got to drill it back out again.
I'm sure you can handle that.
I've got a pin visor somewhere for it. It's just my lights are off in my room, so I can't see it. My pin visors. I have to pull the drawer out.
All right, so I think I'm pretty far along. So now I'm going to make the other cut coming down.
Right.
And finish this off. It's just a matter of trying to find a good spot to hold it.
I love that sound.
The sawing sound.
It's awesome. There they go. There we go. All right.
It's not very riveting, but yeah, we've already been on for an hour and a half, though.
I know. Time flies, man.
So this is just a big chunk I got to cut out because just the way they casted it, it's flared out and all kinds of stuff. And I'm sure I've dulled the blade already.
Yeah, it doesn't take. Especially. Yeah, those aren't really designed to cut that kind of metal easily.
Right. Well, I'm sure they're not designed for a lot of cutting.
Yeah, they're.
Just slow and steady.
It wins the race.
Or it cuts it properly. One of the two.
Either or. It all works. I will have a bit of a surprise on our Wednesday night show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a surprise.
Well, it will be a surprise if I tell everybody.
No, I said what kind of a surprise? Like a modeling surprise?
Yeah,
or,
something that people don't see me do very often.
Uh-oh. Cry?
No, I do that all the time, dude. Remember me?
Okay.
I'm delicate flower.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. All right. Well, now I broke the blade for sure.
You're just hard on your tools, man.
It's a little. It's a cheat. It's a. I used to think about saving these, but they're still kind of sharp at certain points, and I don't think they'd make good modeling stuff. But I don't know. I guess I could glue them onto like the side of a vehicle.
Something.
I just don't want to keep them in my bits box because I don't want to be digging around my bits box
Right.
and running my hand across the saw blade.
I
That
can
just
understand
sounds
that. That sounds painful.
that just sounds miserable.
Well, I am actually very happy that I actually my first use of contrast paints went
It's
so
good.
well. Yeah.
Now you can rave about them.
Well, I don't know about rave about them. They're just again, it's just another tool in the toolbox.
Yeah, it's nice to have options in your toolbox.
Well, especially when they actually expedite your work and give you a nice. The
Finish.
thing about it is, if it's something that's going to expedite my work, where I actually get stuff done a little quicker, and doesn't look like I did something to get my work done a little quicker, that's a bonus.
Yep.
And that stuff worked out really, really well. But I would have had to put some washes on it and build the washes up, and that actually made it let me do it in a setting like this and get it done quickly.
And it looks amazing.
I really like the green. It just really it's like I'm here. I'm the green one. I'm over here.
Yeah, I've got the orc flesh, and I love it. I
I
think
have the
it's a
orc flesh. I have the orc flesh too. Now that's the one I used actually. I have the orc flesh and I have warp lightning,
yeah, both great colors.
and then I have my favorite color,
What's that?
purple.
You love.
Magnus purple.
All right, so after a little bit of work, I got that piece out. So,
Look at you being all efficient.
and now we're looking at popping this in. It actually kind of fits perfectly because there's a little bit of a step right here,
Right.
and it fits right where it's like this car was made for this. So I'll probably just end up super gluing that down after I clean it up. But the idea is I need to do something with this tube to make it look like that's the power source for this car.
Right.
So it's either I try to bend it so it goes straight down, and if that works, great. If not, I may have to snip it off and just put another tube in. Find a tube or something and just put it in place. Just make it look like the power source. That's all.
I did a special painting project for my middle daughter over the weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah, she loves Halloween,
Who
and
doesn't?
every year she has this big Halloween. She decorates her house like Halloween. She just goes crazy. And she had picked up these really kind of inexpensive plastic hollow skulls that you're supposed to light up. And but when you lit them up, the way they're mass produced, they didn't they glowed so much you lost all the skull detail.
Right.
So I took and sat down and took on and airbrushed them and put basically black and darkened up. Hey, Rob Villeneuve has joined
Yep.
us.
Hey, Robert.
So I darkened them all up in the proper area. So now when you put the lights in, they actually all the shadows of the skull just fly out at you.
Sweet.
And it was kind of cool. It was a nice little project.
So this was what I was afraid of. I cut that off, tried to bend it. This is just pot metal, so it just broke. It didn't bend for me. It's actually very fragile. I didn't know that.
Yeah, pot
So,
metal can be well. It's that size.
well, I took a shot. I wanted to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but I left a little bit of a nub behind. Little nub. And
That's what I was laughing about.
so I'll be able to just take a piece of tubing, and that will be the basically the power cables to power up this special weapon. War. So so that's about it. That's about all I'm gonna get done today, buddy.
Well, I just finished up the skull with the machine guns.
Hold on, let me give you full screen.
I gotta, of course, weather it and darken it up and do all that cool stuff. But that's the. Then I got the 2 machine guns coming out the nose. So.
Junk metal.
And I got my Erikenstein all done. Got the stowage on it now. Engine in the proper place where it belongs in the rear.
Engine's supposed to be in the front, not in the rear.
No, dude.
Oh, you just dropped it. Now it blows up.
It's done now. But yeah, now they've got the storage up there, the front, spare tire. They're good to go. My first official complete well. Yeah, it's completely done.
Welcome to the club of getting gasoline cars built.
Oh.
All right, so next week,
What?
Thick guitar strings make awesome cabling. Yes, Darren. Actually,
Yeah.
I got extra bass string, and that's probably what I'll use is a piece of bass string, and it will look awesome. So I'm gonna get the SWAT vehicle done during the week.
Yeah.
And I'll start getting the big air bel air. I'll get all the parts painted up, and then we'll mount those up. And then and then I'll continue working on this Michigan car. But that's going to be a real simple build. I'm just going to get that engine in the back, paint up the rims, paint up the car, and that's pretty much going to be it. I have my mod rod, and I have Darren's old style car still on my desk. But I'm kind of thinking I need to start thinking of another big project.
For Gaslands.
For Gaslands, of course, for Gaslands. Yeah. And I'm thinking it might be the. I remember I pulled out that Volkswagen bus. Yeah. I'm thinking I might pull that bad boy out.
Yeah.
And start working on that. Now that one's going to be Mike's special little project.
I have right now. I have on the personal side. I have enough big projects. So I have the Oktoberfest project.
Correct.
That's coming along quite nicely. But then I have my Hellboy. I got to get my Hellboy done. So on when I have time to paint personal stuff that's not on the show, I work on Hellboy, and the other one is the project for the shows. So
sweet. Well, I've got a small project for the show as well.
Just
probably one of the smallest models GW makes.
Yeah, pretty much.
But speaking of other shows, Wednesday night is the Wolf's Den, and this Wednesday we have our special guest lined up, and that is going to be Adam.
Yeah, as long as we're supposed to get together tomorrow to make sure his camera's lined up properly, but okay. Adam will be joining us tomorrow.
Sweet, I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Not tomorrow, Wednesday, but
Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
I know how much you look forward to jumping ahead.
Well, no, I know what mess up. I'm getting together with him tomorrow to make sure his cameras work. And that's where the tomorrow came from, was that. But yeah, the show's not till Wednesday.
Yes. Cecil's working on a 59 Dodge Cornet police car. So yeah. Cecil actually has a police team. He has the enforcers, I think is what they're called.
Yeah. Well, Tim did some police cars as well, didn't he?
Yes.
And apparently so does Adam. Or he may be looking forward to being on the show.
We'll figure it out one of these days. Yeah. So anyways, we got the Wolf Den, and we're still celebrating the Greenskins Oktoberfest. And we're all working on orc projects on the shows this month in solidarity for, it's not easy being green. So we're trying to support.
And anyone that joins us on Wednesday night will get a treat. In fact, they will actually get to see me have done something that I don't normally do.
And I am on pins and needles about that. So, but yeah, then we'll just keep chipping away at cars. But I think these are going to kind of get done real quick. And
I was very proud of myself. I didn't actually get obsessed with this new car and have it done before the show. I actually had something to work on tonight. So,
and I appreciate that, but I have a feeling though, as soon as that green putty dries, you're gonna go nuts.
Well, if I didn't have the Oktoberfest project sitting here staring at me,
That's true.
that might be true. But I'm actually fairly excited because you've seen where I'm at so far on that, and I'm
Yes.
actually kind of happy where it's going. And I'm in that mode where I don't want to lose that momentum.
Yep.
I'm
You're
kind of
on.
in a
You're
group.
on. You're flowing.
So I think I will work on the sanding on that some, but not as obsessively as I normally would.
Well, I'm excited to see how you finish that because so far the double dualies is just amazing, and I
Yeah,
will steal that idea from you.
absolutely. Well, it was your idea. You
I
said
know, but you did
put
it, so I'll steal
dualies
it
on it,
back.
and and then I put the dualies on the front and took it to the next step. It's the dynamic dually. So
I love the name. I just love it. So, all right, everybody. And then Saturday morning is What's New with Mike and Jeff. That's our Saturday morning hangout. Uh,
the show
we
that started it all.
The show that started it all, yes. And then it's just more hobby time on Saturday morning, and probably I don't if anything new and there's all kinds of new and exciting things coming out of GW right now. We'll see what comes between now and then. Don't expect me to have my big Space Marine dude model thing because Amazon screwed me over. Anyways. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah,
So.
well, when you make like what, how many billion a week, you know, you can afford to
Lose
you
a
know.
customer.
Lose a customer.
Anyways, everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with us on Jackal Garage. You guys are what make this show so much fun because we get to entertain you and we get entertained and we all get stuff done. So if you're working on a car project, please share photos with us. We would love to share your photos on the show and show what other people are doing because that is what it's all about at the end of the day. And then and we'll play the game every once in a while. So, anyways, thanks everyone for joining. All you guys have a great night. See you all on Wednesday night.
See you guys.
Bye.